night. 20 minutes later, we've parked. Look at the sticker on this car. That's amazing. So this is our last night at Horror Nights in all likelihood. It is Friday night, the week before Halloween, but next week during Halloween, but we normally would be here to close things out. We have other things to do, so this is it. Cheers. Honestly, we've been here a lot this year, and we've been here a bunch of times when we haven't filmed things as well. And to that point, I'm a little kind of burnt out on Horror Nights this year, so this is our last hurrah.
You've been a couple more times than me, so.
I live here in the back of the facade of the Pumpkin Lord. So we've already shown everything like a million times. I don't know what else there is to share with you guys. The real Walking Dead. 30 years, 30 fears. About to have a cash change. Everybody in the zone at the same time. Greatest icon of all time. Mary's taking pictures of Bone. It goes without saying that a week before Halloween, this place is slam-packed busy. Sold out tonight, sold out tomorrow night. Little boom boom pow. That parrot's jacking my style. First house of the night. Things. So for rankings at the end of the year, this zone, dead last. If there was a spot below dead last, it would be in that spot. Actors doing their best, but holy hell. How could you be scared of the ice cream man? He serves you good humor. Neon Dion in the house. Crypt TV. Wants to show me. Oh, that's not nice. Heads are not bowling balls. Oh. Tasty? Chicken. Costume and set design is amazing. Yes. Oh. Is this the house with the clown? You know, it's bad when the ops outside are like, hey, welcome back again. Evil dies tonight. Now that was scary. This the house with that little Boo character. While you wait in line, they show commercials for the new Halloween. Evil dies tonight, by the way. And the new Chucky TV show. The facade is so awesome, but a huge miss not to be playing King Diamond Halloween as you go into the house. Tell you what, Little Boo is up there, and he's fine and cool and all right. But there's one real MVP here. That's this guy. Oh, we're done with Wicked Growth. And I gotta tell you, I think it might be the greatest HHN house of all time.
That and Dollhouse.
That's true. Dollhouse of the Damned was also very good. But this was better. You're right, I forget about Dollhouse of the Damned all the time.
And also Scarecrow. You know,
Scarecrow is alright, but it's no Wicked Growth.
No, not at all.
Into the theater of puppets. James Hetfield's house. In fairness, we've had better runs in that house, but today, Big Batista, thumbs down. Bored. So I felt like I really didn't need to come back to Horror Nights again at all, but this is the reason why. Look at that smile. So end script for this area. Huge miss this year. No chainsaw clowns or chainsaw or anything. Just nothing. Smells like Atlanta back here. 85-minute wait for the Hilly House haunting. Passing through Barney's graveyard. They moved the headstones but not the bodies? Let's hope for no fisticuffs tonight, huh? One last time for Hill House.
Damn it, Bobby.
Join the Dark Order. I think we could probably leave tonight on, that would be a high note. That was the best run that I think I've had out of any house so far this year. It's so awesome. One last time for the Horde. Just walking around, going back home. Hey, you guys want to come out and play? The Terra Queen is Terra gone. No one home. Taking pictures of nothing. Lights, camera, action. It's a play on words, you get it? Instead of action, it's action. It's quite funny. You know, action, because they have a weapon, like an axe, or a knife, or a bat, because evil dies tonight. We just went through the red light.
Oh no.
We'll go through case files unearthed for the last time. And that was great. That house went from being like on the lower end of the scale for us at the beginning, and now it's like way up there. It's just become so cool. I'm gonna really miss that house. Transformers, more than meets the eye.
So the fate of the earth is in your hands. Take the Allspark to safety.
We saved the planet again. In the end, the little yellow car caught the blue car. So they got smart, and they're illuminating Boris Schuster's office now. A little fan in there. Caretaker is here. Icon, 75-minute wait. Goodbye, creepy eyes. Welcome. Well,
What line is this for?
that is a lot of people. Oh, hey, Jack. So, the icon we got was Lady Luck. Awesome run through the house. We had to tip our hat and give a little bit of applause to everybody. Love that house, love the icons. By the way, 75-minute wait outside. It took us 6 minutes from the point that we walked through the entryway or portal to the back. All right, Texas Chainsaw, 65-minute wait posted. We'll see how long it takes. We are using Express, by the way. Realistically, should just take us about half of the time with Express use, but it's been super quick today. All right, so this one, 11:02. Not too shabby. 9 minutes. And the final exit.
of the city of dead.
Not us, it's you. Never don't go alone.
And we're back.
So we're back from Horror Nights. We're actually filming like these ends of videos that we just keep leaving
We have
open-ended.
the same shirts.
I feel like, you know, when people always say like, we're just gonna like with Disney. Disney's never done. They just keep creating. We're just gonna do HHN 30 videos forever.
I know.
So HHN 30 is done for us. We're not going back this year. So just some final thoughts and rankings of what we thought was really good, what we didn't think was really good, from the scare zones and houses and things like that. So Universal always does Halloween Horror Nights super big. It's, you know, when you try to compare it to other things, it's really hard to compare. You know, except for this year we got Busch Gardens. Except for this year we had SeaWorld in the backyard of Halloween Horror Nights, kind of knocking on the door. And with Howl-O-Scream, it's not the same thing as Horror Nights. I think people can realize that when they start to go. But Howl-O-Scream, we've been saying for years, is hella fun. Sometimes even more fun than Halloween Horror Nights because it's a little more raw and gritty and stuff. But with that said, Horror Nights this year took on a different type of feel because of the pandemic. So you had plastic sheets in the houses that kind of, you know, you saw where some of the scares were going to be ahead of time and stuff. The scare zones this year were not very good. And, you know, I think that there would probably be a lot of people that work for other places that have hosted media that would not be as frank in saying that, because if you do say generally that you don't like something because it's not very good, you're not on the media list.
Yeah.
And I'm looking over at, you know, some of our close friends that we actually podcast with that may have lost their media access because they have said those types of things in the past.
Yeah.
So, but the scare zones, I think they did what they needed to do. Like prior to the event starting, we kind of speculated, was everyone going to be on stages and so forth?
Away from people.
Keep distancing
Yeah.
away. And they kind of sort of almost did that. Like, so in some of the zones, the people are very far away. When you get to like Crypt TV, for the most part, the actors are behind barriers, except for the girl that's in the woods type of person that's out
Everybody else
wandering.
is like away from.
Yeah, but you go to like the ice cream zone, you know, the one with the controller that everyone's wearing full masks, and then you get to the Eddie zone, and people, for the most part, they started wearing masks.
They started out all wearing masks, and then they just started, like, you know, dropping them as, you know, as the weeks have gone on.
But our rankings of the zones, and this has nothing to do with scare actor ability. I just think it's because of scalability with what the direction is for what the zone is in the zone and stuff. I'd say probably last place would be that pigeon ice cream man zone with the controller.
He just did not like it from day one.
Yeah, it was not very scary at all. I think the only thing that really started to get scary is when they added the victims, and the victims were scaring people.
Actually, yeah, when the first week or two when we went, it was like, what is this? And then, like, I think by the third week or so, we saw all the victims running around, and I was like, okay, that was a good addition. It worked out well, because you didn't know what they originally were doing, so now they have victims. And I have to say, like you said, every single victim that ran around scared the crap out of people.
Yeah.
The white guys, the suits, they didn't scare anybody. They didn't scare anybody at all, even with the chainsaws and different things that they had.
It was weird. Like some dude, like they had lightsabers and kendo sticks and flashlights.
Yeah, but I actually give kudos to those the scare actors that were the victims, because they were doing a hell of a job.
The past couple of years in that zone have been really not good. I think like the 85 scare zone, it was fun to watch, but it's not scary. And you go back to, you know, maybe like 25 when they did like the escaped, like Scary Ohio type zone.
Oh yeah,
and
that
stuff.
one.
That was scary because people, that was their job. They were out there scaring people all the time.
That one was good. How the one where they had the I think it was the Scary Ohio where the guys chopping off the heads on the side. Yeah. That stuff was kind of spooky. Yep.
So the third zone that I would probably, or I think, let's say the third best, would be the Gorewood zone. You know, I think it's impossible to get the scare actors to really scare much. I know popping out of the boo holes because costumes were crazy.
Oh my god, the guys with the like the dagger arms, those are really cool.
It looked like something out of Halo.
Yeah, it was great.
So
I did watch a lot of people getting scared because they didn't know what was coming out. So
and then a Terror Queen, didn't do much except stand on the stage, and sometimes they interacted with that like cadaver or body that was there. The second zone that I would say, wait, there's 5 zones. There's not 4. So my bad. I'm actually thinking there was 4 zones. There was 5 zones. So 5 would be the Ice Cream Men. 4 would be Gorewood. 3 would be Crypt TV. Crypt TV was gorgeous, and it really much felt like you were in.
In the episodes.
In the episodes,
definitely.
like seeing these characters come to life was very, very cool.
And everybody who was in that zone really just did those scenes so well.
Yeah, definitely selfie zone, not scare zone. But again, that's direction from leadership and not the scare actors. Scare actors would probably want to scare the shit out of everybody. It's just not in the cards for them.
Yeah.
So you get to see Santa licking his finger lollipop instead of like jumping out and scaring you. But number 2, I would say, would be the Eddie zone. The lights, camera, action. They're hacking people. So it was very cool. That zone was highlighted by the fact that Jack would sometimes go to the stage where Eddie was at.
Brotherly love.
Yeah, there's a lot of like Easter eggs in that zone too. It was really, really cool seeing all of the characters from prior years.
Oh, from all the years, because you'd go, oh my god, walking through,
They necessarily weren't very aggressively scaring you, but again, I think that's direction from, the leadership, right?
Oh yeah.
It could be scary if you're scared of like machetes or chainsaws and people walking slowly behind you with them and stuff.
Pigman.
Pigman.
Piggy.
Pigman.
I love Piggy. Sorry.
And then the number 1 zone, I think, was the 30 Years, 30 Fears. Very bizarre because they have all of the icons' pictures on that zone signage, and not a single one is in that zone.
We realized that.
They're all trapped.
Yeah, we realized after the fact, we're like, where are all the icons? And we're like, wait, they're trapped in the lamp or lantern. So I'm like, that's why they're not out here.
Yeah, but Bone was there. Bone is an icon to me. I'm saying that
Daddy.
like I know we joke around online all the time, but like Bone should be one of the icons.
Yes.
If they got to put Bone and Blood together, then whatever. But Bone Daddy is an icon.
He is awesome.
And so let's talk about houses.
Houses.
Your favorite house of the year?
Wicked Growth.
Wicked Growth for me too. I honestly think Wicked Growth might be the best Halloween Horror Nights house that at least we've been through.
I loved it. I truly did.
It was awesome. We had a lot of jokes going into this about Wicked Growth in my pants. But the house itself was amazing.
Oh yeah, it was so good.
And we talk a lot about independent haunts and the set direction that they do and stuff. And we did Fright Nights in South Florida a couple of years ago, where you walk through a pumpkin and they had the strands hanging down with pumpkin seeds and things like that. And that house was really well done. This house was very similar to that. Yeah. Except better.
Pumpkin Lord. My goodness.
The Pumpkin Lord was awesome.
Our last run through, I just wanted to hail the Pumpkin Lord. So I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah.
There were a bunch of scenes.
And I got spit on, the spray.
Yeah, this was a very wet Horror Nights. There were a lot of scares in that house. So we normally say Halloween Horror Nights is not very scary. It's very pretty. But it's not very scary. And we normally say you go to Hollow Scream is more scary than or scarier than Horror Nights. But that house was scary.
That house was scary.
I got wrecked in that house a couple of times. You walk that first scare that comes out of the wall, and then there's the scare where you're kind of going towards the window of things where the guy comes through the latticed.
Oh yeah,
fence.
That was really good.
I've seen some people wipe out, from that.
On the other wall, yeah.
Yeah, and then the guy hanging down was amazing.
He went through it a couple of times, and I guess he didn't get that scare at that point. Yeah. And then, by the third or fourth time, he's like, "Oh my God, look at that guy!" And I was like, "You didn't see this one yet?" I was like, "I saw him every time."
So that house was amazing. The other house that I thought was really fun was Icons.
Icons was great.
I don't think it was as good as 25 when you go through like the history of Horror Nights houses.
Yeah, because that mirror.
Neither was scary, but we'll get back to scary.
Yeah, that mirror room in 25 where they had all the
Yeah.
jacks and stuff or whatever, that was pretty scary.
But Icons was awesome. I love seeing the end.
Yeah.
Where you have a different person on the throne all the time. They tried to do that a couple years ago with Jason versus Freddy, and at the end of that house, there was a
switched
different
off,
person
yeah.
all the time. But this was done a little bit better.
We got every icon. We went through bunches of times and we saw all of them.
Yeah, they did. I thought it was a really fun house to go through because it was Icons. Not scary, like unless you're terrified of seeing a director just
With a
face
light.
you with a blinking light. You might be scared if you can't handle blinking lights.
Yeah.
But that was about the extent of it, or the usher telling you.
Oh, the usher
shush.
was the best, beating up the guy in
Yeah.
the seat. I love that.
When we did the lights on tour, the first day they did the lights on tour, they explained to us that there was another boo hole door in the caretaker room that I had assumed that at some point maybe they would maybe put Cindy in there. I know Cindy's not an icon, but just thinking caretaker wise or something, maybe another caretaker pop out of there or something, but they never did anything with that door. So that was a little disappointing. But the storyteller, I thought, was also the star of that house.
Oh, yeah, she was creepy.
Storyteller
as hell.
normal form and then storyteller final form when she came out, and that was
Yeah, that was gross.
super awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Other houses that were good. I thought Bride was good coming back. Bride got better year over year. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was really good.
Was amazing.
It's just very weird because a couple of years ago they did Halloween 4. And the complaint was you got 100 Michael Myers, just Michael everywhere. And they did the same thing with Leatherface this time around, but I think the Leatherface thing worked better. But they were at the end, there's 2 Leatherfaces that are coming out at the same time.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah, it was fun though.
Yeah, that house was good.
And they had piggies in there too.
Yeah, there's pigs in there. There's a lot of leftover props from prior years. Houses that didn't necessarily work for me. Beetlejuice. I still love the concept of Beetlejuice.
I love it.
But I think that they had operational kind of limitations from Warner Brothers and being able to have multiple actors together in scenes. And then you get to some scenes like the table that could have been magnificent for the Deo type scene. And instead of having the table down below and walking around and everything, it had it up on the ceiling and nothing in that room, just empty.
Yeah. I mean, there were some parts that were really, really amazing because it was like walking through the movie, But
Poor execution at the end. And then Scary, I was really looking forward to Scary, but it just seemed I did have a really, really good run in Scary when without Mary at one point that we were I was the only person going through the house, and that was really super cool because things were kind of nerve wracking or inducing. But overall, it's great to see Meats. It was great to see HR Blood and Guts and the Hive stuff. It just seemed like we were like, what are we gonna put here? Hive. Let's put this over here. And well, Cindy's not an icon, so what can we do with her? Scary. So
yeah.
it wasn't well executed, I think. And the same thing with Tooth Fairy. Tooth Fairy we got to see last year. Maybe I'm jaded because we saw it last year. And the facade is really amazing.
I love
Tooth
the
Fairy.
story, the whole thing, and it's okay.
Those characters, though, their masks still. It's it's a alien. It's a demon. It's a fairy. It's not.
It's a scary tooth fairy.
I guess. I wasn't over the moon with that, and then the rest kind of falls in the middle there. Puppet Theater I thought was well done. If you got the actors at the right timing, I think
we went through a bunch of times, and I think for me, I only had 1, maybe 2 good runs of that. All the other times it was people were missing, or I didn't get the timing right, so I was but
Puppet Theater would be amazing if it was part of an independent haunt where you were pulsed through and you knew that you were going to get the scares that were going through.
Yeah.
But to have things conga line through puppet theater,
it didn't work a lot.
with potential actors not being in certain spots, or seeing people get a scare 10 feet away and then it not happening when you get up to it.
And you look back and you're trying to wait for the scare, but then you're pushing along and you're like,
So that was that. The shows were good. The fire show was good. The lake show was good.
The fire show, lake show. I like that.
I kind of really miss Bill and Ted. I truly think, like, when you advertise Jack as being back and Jack is everywhere and Jack doesn't have a show, outside of like doing like the narration or the stuff with the water show, that is a gigantic miss.
Yeah.
That gigantic.
There should have been some sort of Jack show.
Yeah. If you had the Jack show instead of the fire show, people would be lining up from the moment that the gates opened up to try to get in there
to go in
see
there.
that. Mm-hmm. It's that big. I also think it's a giant swing and a miss so far for not doing some type of extended universal story, like movie universe based off of these characters, because they've built up so much lore now over time that
you got multiple storylines. It's like, the Marvel Universe kind of thing.
Yeah. And it's, or the people in Orlando, and obviously people that visit Orlando, they kind of feel like that's ours at this point. But Jack's been used in other Universals as well. But I mean, it's just a gigantic miss, I think, to not have like that stuff sold. You're sitting on money. So
maybe 35. Who knows? Maybe they'll start listening to everybody.
Yeah. So, in any event, that's our wrap for Halloween Horror Nights. Mm-hmm. We did get to the opening ceremonies again the other day without
without me.
Yeah. But the opening ceremonies were really cool. Mm-hmm. The food festival, I don't know if it necessarily lived up to the hype.
There were some really good food options there, and we had a couple of the drinks. Some were horrible and some were good, but that's to people's likings, Yeah.
But that's it. So thanks a lot for coming along. Thank you very much for all of your likes, comments, and subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Only 11 more months, 10 more months until Halloween Horror Nights again. See you guys.